I got ready on autopilot this morning and like I definitely should have put something brighter on instead of neutrals because like I'm apparently a dingus. Hey besties and welcome back. I want to do a little experiment. When you think of makeup, what is the first product that you think of? Before you even watch the rest of the video, comment down below. What is the first product that you think of when you just hear the word makeup? For me, and for I'm sure a lot of other people that are permanently stuck in the year 2007 in their brains, I think eyeshadow. I know that that's not common though. Eyeshadow is not the makeup item anymore. Right now, I'm pretty sure that skin tints and blushes are the big trends, so I just really want to see what other people think of first. For me, makeup has always been a way to express myself. I'm not an artistic person. I can't draw. I can't do normal art. I don't know if you can tell, but I shake. I have slight tremors. I can't hold a pen or pencil very still for actual art. But makeup I can do. For some reason, we as a society forgot about eyeshadows. Look back on the cut creases, the rainbow looks that you would see daily while scrolling Instagram. What happened to them? Let's talk about it. It could be argued that eyeshadow became big around 2015, 2016, with the YouTube beauty community really taking off. I don't mean that it wasn't around before, but I'm thinking Tati, James Charles, think the people involved in Dramageddon. That's when you had 40+ minute long tutorials, mostly eyeshadow looks. I was a part of the YouTube beauty community long before that, already putting out content that involved eyeshadow looks. I'm somebody that's been an eyeshadow girly since I was a child. When I first got into makeup, I'm pretty sure the first makeup products I got were lip products and then pressed powder. And I was like, okay, this is boring, I want fun. And that's when I found eyeshadows. I remember my freshman year of college, there was such hype around the Urban Decay Naked palette. I will never forget about the hype around the Urban Decay Naked palette. It was a huge deal. Eyeshadow palette launches were happening all the time and people loved it, they ate it all up. Everyone loved eyeshadow. Eyeshadow was everything. And even if you weren't here for powder shadows, they had the MAC paint pots. Maybelline came out with their own version, their color tattoo cream shadows. Eyeshadow, no matter what medium it was the big deal. It was how you would express yourself. You could do neutrals and it was fine and it would blend with anything else that you did. You could do bright colors and actually express your personality. Y'all know how I feel about a sunset eye. I love my yellows, oranges, and reds on my eyes. When I was a brunette, it was purples. I had purples on my eyes all the time when I was a brunette. I literally, in my makeup drawers, have at least 4 drawers that are just filled with eyeshadow palettes because I am still an eyeshadow girly and I will be until the day I die. So what happened to everyone else? Why did everyone else jump off the eyeshadow bandwagon? Listen, I'm sorry, this brand, I know we don't support her. We can support the brand now that she's not part of it, but these colors, there's no way that you can speak ill on the color story in this palette. This was my everything. This still to this day might be my favorite palette that I've ever owned. That is not the Z palette that I made on my own. I genuinely forgot how much I loved this palette until I just pulled it out. Since I've lived in this apartment for 3 years or so, I want to say, I've only gotten 2 new palettes. Did I get a Ghostface palette? I don't think so. I don't think the Ghostface collection had a palette. Meaning that I would have only gotten 2 palettes in the last 3 years. The Bailey Sarian one from Melt, which I am in love with, and the Huda Empowered, which has become my everyday palette. Oh, we bring back 2017 YouTube with covering the mirror so you're not getting the light reflected? Yes, I am. I use this every day, literally every day. Over 3 years, I've gotten 2 eyeshadow palettes. Do you understand how big of a deal that is compared to the makeup and beauty landscape that we had back in 2013, 2014? Honestly, even as recently as 2019, we're not getting fun limited edition palettes and limited edition drops anymore. Even Morphe used to pump out eyeshadow palettes and they're not pumping them out like that anymore. What happened to the world of eyeshadow? It went from one day eyeshadow was everything and your makeup was based on your eyeshadow to all of a sudden people forgot it existed. And I think that we can blame one thing for that. And that's the year 2020. Before the big 2020 debacle occurred, TikTok started to take off. TikTok videos were shorter. People weren't going to sit around for a 20-minute long eyeshadow tutorial on TikTok. You couldn't even post a video that long on TikTok. So eyeshadow already started falling to the wayside. Then the world shut down. When the world shut down, people stopped doing makeup. If you didn't need to leave the house, you weren't doing makeup. It was one of two. You were either not doing any makeup because you didn't need to, or you were going above and beyond with makeup every day because you could. But most of us weren't doing makeup. Most of us weren't. And during that time, a lot of people were out of work. Either they lost their jobs or they were furloughed, which pretty much means, hey, you've temporarily lost your job, you'll get it back if and when we reopen. People didn't have the money to be out buying makeup, and palettes at that point were more expensive than any other makeup, really. Yes, you did have some products. Obviously, certain brands would have foundations that cost more, but as a general rule, palettes were around, what, 50 bucks, and foundations were 30 something? As just general mid-priced at Sephora. I'm thinking Urban Decay price point. Do I say that because Urban Decay had the vast majority of the palettes with their Naked palette collection? Absolutely. Because of the price point of palettes, people stopped buying during COVID, but also you weren't going out and doing your makeup because you weren't going out places. Palettes were also everywhere. The market was starting to get very oversaturated with them. And then to add insult to injury, you couldn't leave the house. I mean, you could to go some places, but Sephora wasn't open, Ulta wasn't open. If somebody wanted to drop a new palette, you couldn't see the color story in person. You couldn't actually feel the shadows and swatch them and see if they were chalky, if they had good color payoff. You couldn't. For that reason, a lot of people were very hesitant to order online. Plus, I know with me, 90% of the time, if I order something online, when it gets to me, it's smashed. That happened with my printer. I still have a lot of rage about my printer arriving smashed, and then Amazon wouldn't price match it for me to get another one for the same price because I bought it on sale. I'm still very angry about that, okay? Very angry. 3 years later, have not forgiven them. So what ended up taking over during COVID? The clean girl aesthetic. The clean girl aesthetic is to be blamed for a lot, in my opinion. I understand it in theory. You know, the world is shutting down, everyone's getting sick, so we're gonna show we're clean, we're healthy, we don't have this virus here. In theory, I think that's where clean girl aesthetic started from. Skincare, skin tints, dewy everything. I get it. I do. Could never be me. I am a chaos gremlin. I could never be clean girl aesthetic, but I get it. And I get why people aspire to have clean girl aesthetic, but it took away the personality of eyeshadows. What exactly replaced eyeshadows? And why? My opinion for the why, I think, is the biggest thing. I don't blame everything on COVID. I don't blame everything on clean girl aesthetic. In theory, if it was all because of COVID, when you were wearing a mask, you could only see the upper half of the face. In theory, you'd want brighter eyeshadow for that. I think, honestly, Gen Z was starting to reach the same age that millennials were when eyeshadows popped off. At that point, I was working with a Gen Zer who was graduating high school. I saw her struggling to finish high school during COVID, and I saw the change in makeup trends at that point. Her and her friends didn't make time to do cut crease looks. They didn't pull out the rainbows every day. This is as eyeshadow was being phased out. You were still seeing eyeshadow looks on social media, but not as much. But I noticed that the Gen Zers weren't wearing it. They didn't want to spend 20 minutes of their day just blending eyeshadows, which I get. I understand that. I always say I could get my makeup done in 5 minutes if I had the products in front of me, if I'm not blending. The blending is what takes me forever. Or if I make a risky decision and I decide that I'm gonna try to do winged liner, especially if it's on a day that my tremors are bad, because me plus liner plus tremors, not good. That's why I don't do false lashes often. My tremors plus false lashes are not a good combination. What did I see happening? I saw blush. I saw lots of blush. I saw blush blindness. This is coming from somebody who growing up was not a blush girly. I had maybe like 2 blushes growing up. I was not a blush girl. None of my friends were blush girls. Even my other content creator friends, while yeah, we had blushes, none of us were blush people. Not back in those days. Skin became the focus. Because if you were just staying at home, you weren't going into office. I went into office, my Gen Z coworker had to go into office, but most people didn't. So they were focusing on their skin. They could leave a mask on all day. And I don't mean like the covers the lower half of your face mask. I mean like a skincare face mask. Even foundations weren't as common anymore. It was all about skin tints, glowy primers. Everyone knows the Tower 28 spray. Glass skin became a trend. And if you couldn't get it, you were doing whatever you could to fake it. And honestly, I'm really happy about that because as somebody with dry skin, the dewier I can get my skin, the better. I hated when matte everything was the trend because, hi, I have dry skin. Matte flakes right off my skin. In a sense of rebelling against the 2018 era of YouTube, matte liquid lips were out, glossy lips were in. Brows and lashes had their moment. Like I was saying, if you went out and you had to have a mask on, it would only show the upper half of your face. So people focused on brows and lashes. Laminated brows, soap brows, fluffy brows, everything became all about the brows. But that's also when, instead of just getting lash extensions, lash lifts and tints started becoming popular. The point of a lot of these things, like getting your brows laminated, getting lash lifts and tints, is wake up and go. It's that you don't need to do your makeup in the morning. You're already done. You don't need to spend 20 minutes in the morning getting ready. You could just run out the door already looking put together. I'm not gonna lie, I got my eyebrows microbladed for that exact reason. The microblading has faded, unfortunately, but it was really, really amazing while it lasted. Now I dye my eyebrows, which doesn't have the same effect, but it's better than nothing. But I get it, because I like to sleep in. But now if people are buying a new product, they're not buying a big 30 pan eyeshadow palette. They're not even buying small eyeshadow palettes. Now people are looking for multi-use products. Look at the NARS The Multiple, which was super popular when I was in middle school and high school. The NARS The Multiple was one cream stick that could work as eyeshadow, blush, and lip color. That's what people are looking for now. People want a cream stick that you can use for multiple uses. They don't want eyeshadow. Do I think that it's gone forever though? Is eyeshadow ever gonna make a comeback? Is eyeshadow something that I'll never see again? I don't think for good, but I think for now. Right now, everybody's getting into Y2K style again, which I am very much fully here for, by the way. I always say my closet looks like it's still out of 2007, which like it does. But back then, eyeshadow wasn't it yet. Quite literally, the fun colors, yeah, might have a little indent in them, but it was the shimmery champagne that I wore every single day because that was the beginning. That was transitioning into eyeshadow being popular. I know my opinion on one of the reasons that I think eyeshadow got so popular. The Maybelline Stylish Smokes Quads. These were everything. But when you look back on Y2K, that's not what you see. That wasn't the Y2K trend. Give it a few more years and people will start bringing back eyeshadows. Trends, especially makeup trends, have always been cyclical. Lip liner is a prime example. Lip liner was not cool when I was younger. When I was first getting into makeup, nobody wore lip liner. Now lip liner is everywhere. People do lip liner and gloss with no lipstick. Lip liner is a prime example of makeup being cyclical. I'm waiting for waterline eyeliner to be a trend again because I still wear it. Nothing's gonna stop me from wearing it, but I'm counting down the seconds until it becomes a trend again because your girl's going to be living her best life when everyone wants waterline eyeliner again. But for eyeshadows, we do see some eyeshadow looks coming back. We do see every now and then a new eyeshadow will drop. Maybe a limited edition collection here or there. Do I think that we'll ever get another palette boom like we had though? Honestly, I don't. And that makes me sad. I picture in the future maybe quads make a comeback. I would like to see quads being around again. I could see cream shadows making a comeback. I'm not a cream shadow fan because they crease on me too easily, but with the love of cream products for everything else, I could see cream shadows coming back. But right now, people love low effort. People love low effort, high payoff, I can sleep late type of makeup, which I don't blame them for. I would do anything I could to get an extra 10 minutes in bed in the morning. I'll forever be doing my eyeshadow, doing my eyeliner, doing medium to full coverage foundation. I'm not one of those people that's just going to follow the trend. I found what I like and I'm gonna stick with it. And I hope there's other people that still feel the same way about eyeshadow because it's how I can express myself. But I understand the people that don't want to do it. I'm just hoping that eyeshadow makes the comeback that I know it's able to make. Eyeshadow is the easiest way to express yourself with cosmetics, and I miss it. But now I want to know, what's your opinion? Do you miss eyeshadow? Do you miss the bold eyeshadow looks? Were you more of a simple neutral color wash eyeshadow person? Did you never get into eyeshadow? Do you still wear eyeshadow all the time? I'm actually super nostalgic for when we would count down until eyeshadow palette launches. The Rocky Horror palette, when that was coming out, oh my god. New palette launches always sort of bonded the community. We all had the same thing to look forward to. Oh, there's a new Naked palette coming out this day. Everyone was talking about it. And I miss that. I miss feeling like the community had something to bring us together and give us a sense of community. And I will forever be doing eyeshadow. I will not give up on eyeshadow just because other people don't like it anymore. If you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. I put out new videos every Wednesday, Sunday, and then alternating Mondays and Fridays. Wednesdays are beauty and lifestyle. Normally, I get to sit down and rant. And I love to rant. When you do subscribe, make sure that you hit the bell, otherwise YouTube will never tell you when I post new videos. It's a little bit broken like that. Comment down below with your feelings about eyeshadow. I love you all, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.
I don't know, but I've been told the world outside is oh so cold. So cold.